Hey y'all, what's good? Your girl pulled up today. I'm out here getting some air, enjoying this weather. I wanted to tell you guys something. One of the best ways to get rid of anxiety is to get outside. I heard a psychologist talk about this the other day of how someone can heal from anxiety. It takes about 3 months. And after I thought about it, it definitely helped me. I did go through this process. I didn't know that it took 3 months. But Mr. Visionary started me outside. He made sure that I got up and got out. First of all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing today, Self Soldier? I wanted to just drop in on y'all. Shout out to Miss Accountability for letting Miss Awareness, who is me. I am Sabrina Michelle. Wear this hat today from our ancestor, who is a survivor. Today, my talk is about survivor jealousy. I know. Yes, it exists. It has never been called that. And if you Google search it, you won't really find too much information about it. The reason being is nobody really pays attention to that. Normally, this is something that happens in the melanated community. Some people call it survivor's remorse that we have because we survived. But there is such a thing as survivor jealousy. What's good, my brother? I see you pulling up. How you doing today, E? Survivor jealousy basically is put on people by folk that have low self-esteem. They have a tendency, if they're jealous, to be angry at someone that has overcome some harsh situations. They'll be angry with you. If you had adversity in your life, and then you have to deal with, they out here doing the most. I hope I don't have to channel my Philly energy, right? What's good? Yes, thank you so much. I had to pull up here to talk about this. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all learned something. See, about to bang somebody's head against the headboard about egoism, because I ain't call these folks. But anyway, back to the situation. Being a survivor of anything, whether it's your health, mental, losing your family members, going through adversity is a hard thing to do. But people have a tendency to look at you and be angry about it because you still show up in the world happy, because you're still grateful, because you're still enthusiastic about life, even though you've been through things. That just shows that they have low self-esteem. They're not authentic. And when you can be authentic and you show up and you still smile and you still move around and do the things that you're supposed to do to help your healing, your elevation, and other people can be angry and just hateful about it, something's wrong with them. Because who wants to wear a jersey that you didn't earn, right? Nobody wants to deal with having such painful things happen to them and wish that on other people. But people who have survivor jealousy have a tendency to feel like, oh, well, how did you get through this? Instead of them asking, they harbor hate. They harbor anger. They harbor resentment. And for people who are closest to you, that normally happens. They're the ones that'll do it, because outsiders are people that you really don't socialize with or deal with on a regular basis. You could care less about them. You don't care what they think. But your loved ones, when they feel that way about you, my suggestion is to move around. Get away from them. Because people that internally hate themselves will outwardly show hate towards you. They don't know how to look within themselves and find that same strength that you had, that grit, that resilience, that I call it gutter butter, because that's what it is. That's what it takes. That's why I talk about hood goulash, because goulash is something that you take and you make something great out of it. And people who have been through surviving things such as deadly diseases, such as losing their favorite person in the world, their loved one, their mate, their partner, anything, whether it's them no longer here or a breakup, and you can still sit around and be happy about that, but then when the person rises, you're unhappy. You got a messed up mindset. You really do. And you're not authentic. And that is a bad paradigm. I speak about that all the time to you all. I really do. Because we need to be aware of our consciousness. Once again, to extend empathy is why I do this work. Because a lot of those people with that low self-esteem have ego issues. See, it's all tied into your childhood. It's how you show up in the world. It's how you treat people. Your ego. You can sit around and be hateful and wish downfall on people who have been through such harsh things. You have a terrible ego. Now, of course, that ties into narcissism. But that's not my wheelhouse. That's for a therapist to deal with. See, some things life coaches will yield to. I don't deal with people who have that type of mindset because you can't teach them anything. Their minds are closed. However, if you feel any way about someone that survived something, I mean, they have maybe had their leg amputated or their arm cut off, but they're still smiling and grinning and still getting out here in this world, avoiding having anxiety and depression, avoiding harming anyone in order to survive, to stay out of a villainous mindset. They don't show up as a victim, and you can still harbor hate and disdain and malice, egregious and callous behavior towards that person. You have a really dark soul. That mustard seed that you have planted in your heart needs to be watered, because you want someone to extend you sympathy, empathy, but all you have is apathy. That is what a person who is experiencing survivor jealousy experience. They go through that. They definitely do. And some folks experience it on a daily basis. If you grew up in the projects or lived in the projects, and then you leave the projects and you do well, sometimes people have anger. They're mad at you. They hate on you. I don't understand that mindset. You should be happy. You should ask them, how did you do it? Can you tell me? But melanated people, or even people, I would say people who are on a lower paradigm, because I don't want to really put this all on just one race of people, because that's nonsense. A lot of people experience this, but unless you have it in your immediate area where you really can't speak about it, you can make an assumption. You can view from other people's viewing. But if it's happening to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you know exactly what I'm talking about, I want you to put it in the chat. Yup. Let me know. Holla at me. Tell me how you feel that you are being a part of someone else's survivor jealousy. It does exist. It just was never called anything. We call it, oh, you're hating on me. Oh, you're throwing shade. No. They're hating on you they're jealous of you because you survived. Now, everyone watching this, once again, I always say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. The people who I'm speaking to fully understand what I'm talking about, because they experienced it themselves or have experienced it themselves. And if you have come into this world and you lost your parents young, I did. My parents died before I was good in my 20s. By 21, both of them boom. And if you have had to deal with rejection, being a black sheep, people saying catty stuff about you, your little life, made a reel about that today, which is why I did it today, because it applies to this conversation. People who are belittling your life in spite of what they say, they have survivor jealousy. And it's a shame because they could be doing wonderful, fabulous. Oh my gosh, what society says they are. They show outward appearances that they're happy, but they're not, because they're too busy worrying about other people instead of enjoying the riches of even outdoors. You know, they don't understand that. My position and my placement in this world is to do ego work. Once again, I am an ego life coach who coaches on the masses. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. Stop sliding in my DM. My DM is for ego work. It's not to meet you men or women. I'm a heterosexual woman. I am not here to date on social media. I am here to help you get your ego in check so that you can be a better human, show up as a better person that you are. Show up whole, authentic, and not have any excuse about it. Be I am. I am. Do your shadow work. Heal yourself. Stay out of my DM. I'm not dating a man on social media. I already told you all that in my last video. The man that I'm supposed to date or be with, I will meet him in real time, not in my DM. So stay out of it. Because once again, if you get in my DM, I'm going to ask you, do you want some ego work? Because that's what I do. Now, I don't do individual ego work. The only way I will help someone individually is if I meet you personally. Other than that, I don't help individuals by themselves. I help the masses. Please go back and read my posts. Go back and look at my videos so that you can learn how to become authentic. So that you can get out your ego and you can boost your intuition. Because most likely if this video is irritating you about me saying something about survivor jealousy, then I'm talking to you. If you have some feelings inside of you, that's your intuition telling you you're doing that to other people. Now that you're aware, you're responsible. That's what free will is. So if you continue to do it, accept the boomerang effect. That's going to happen. Because the same way you sit around and you be envious and jealous to other people, you wonder why you keep having bad energy around you. Because you're putting it out. You're doing the same thing. Right? So, I am going to get about my day. I wanted to speak about this, which is always remain authentic. You know, it's funny that I'm talking about this because today I talked to Miss Accountability about this topic. And you know what? The very people who I'm speaking about that are angry about someone else surviving, most likely their parents were fake. So their morality changed once they became an adult. See, with me, and confirmation through Miss Accountability today is I am not fake. Because guess what? The criminal parents I had were always the way they were. They showed up just like that. You see, a lot of people who judge other folks had parents who themselves put on masks. And when their children discovered who they really were, they got angry with them. That's why when I was raising my children, people would say, oh, why you tell your kids that? Or why you discuss that with your children? Because I'm authentic. And I didn't want my children seeing a fake mama and then later, oh, my mom said this. Nah. They always saw me as I am. I am her. Right? So while you all are sitting around having this conversation with your friends and family, if you catch them with their little sly remarks about your little life, call them out. See, that's how you fix this. You call them out and call them up and ask them why they feel that way. You ask them why aren't they looking within themselves so they can heal. so they can help their brethren, so that they can have empathy and not create these narratives that aren't true about you or them. I'd gladly give my jersey to somebody if I thought it would teach them something, but not for suffering. Because suffering is not something I would wish on anyone. Unfortunately, there's a balance in this world for everything, and it's mandatory. We must have both in this world, of good and bad. So, although I show up like this, don't get it twisted. I struggle just like the rest of you. The only difference is, if I see a survivor, I shout them out and tell them to keep going, encouraging them. Just like the lady who had this is my ancestor, you know. She encouraged us to keep going no matter what. Even for those who feel that they aren't survivors. You are a survivor too. You just have blinders on. And you think because you're no longer living in the hood that you still are not in survival mode. But you are. So, I want to shout out all of you who checked up on me to see where I was, why I haven't been posting on Facebook. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I send love reflections to everyone, even the haters, because y'all need some. And if you come to my page, I'ma spray you with some love. Because see, if I dwell in the mindset of some of you folk, it wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be nice. It's not going to be a nice outcome for me or you. So I choose to remain in the light. And those of you who are angry of the jersey that I'm wearing, I don't care. Because guess what? It wasn't signed by you. So you can't do nothing about it but watch me work. Okay? And I want you all to remember this always, because this is how I show up. I show up this way so that I can be the change that you want to see and the light that you want to be. And that's no cap. I am who I am. If you meet me in person, I'm still going to be me. Hey, Rima, what's good, girl? I see you. Ashe. Thank you for pulling up. I hope that this content helps you. Whoever finds this, I hope this gives you love, light, and healing, because that's all this platform is about. Okay? I am here for the masses, and I hope that I helped you today. You all have a wonderful week. Stay up. And remember, you have to have self-love so that you can fight all the others. Okay? All right now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.